Hi everyone, I'm Angela. Welcome and welcome back to Angela's Fashion Mix. I hope you've had a fantastic day and happy Sunday. If you are new, welcome to the channel. I thank you for tuning in and I hope you hear something that will help you be around for a long time. This is where I talk about fashion and how to enjoy the things that we bring home, as well as periodically some lifestyle and DIY. Today what I'm talking about is confidence. How to get it when it comes to our fashion, and how to enjoy and present to the world what we feel is our best. And on the days that we don't feel like pulling up to our best, what does that still look like in a confident way? So let's start with what the dictionary says confidence is. Confidence is a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities and qualities. So we can dissect that and apply that to different parts of who we are and in what moments we may or may not feel confident. But today I'm talking about how to have those feelings of confidence when it comes to selecting our clothes, creating our style, and wearing those clothes. It all plays into how we feel about what we put on and what we're presenting to the world. So I'm sharing a few tips to maybe help build the confidence level, or even to just remind us that what we have to work with is all we get. Now we can improve it, but it is what it is. And we're going to find out how we can better enjoy the experiences that we take part in with regard to selecting our clothing and creating our style. So here are a few questions to ask yourself with regard to what is causing you to be uncomfortable or not be confident when it comes to your clothing. Try to identify where that discomfort comes from. Is it self-imposed? Is it someone else's opinion of what you're wearing? Do you not like the style of clothing that you're wearing? Is there discomfort with how those clothes fit? Did you lose weight? Did you gain weight? Are you uncomfortable with your size if your weight is not going up or down? Those things can affect how confident we are in the pieces that we put on our bodies. Are you uncomfortable with what you're presenting with regard to whether you're appropriately dressed for a certain occasion, a wedding, or corporate event, whatever the case may be? How do you feel in what you're wearing to those spaces? And this is an area that I hear the most about. My stomach's too big. My hips are too wide. My head is too big. My head is too small. My bust is too big. My bust is too small. My legs are too long. My legs are too short. I have sagging arms and my neck is sagging. One of those areas I have most recently shared with you, and that's regarding my arm area. In the summertime is when it's going to come mostly into play with sleeveless dresses or tops, but it's there. So it's up to me to either accept it as it is or to do something to change it. So if you're new, I've started recently exercising in this area to try and tone this a bit, so that when I'm looking at it, I feel better about that area of my body. As we age, of course, we're going to see all kinds of things with regard to our physical appearance. So I think that accepting some of these things is going to definitely be a factor in how we accept what we wear and how confidently we move in those pieces. Now, I'm accepting that my neck has started to sag. It's what it is. Haven't yet found exercises to work on that part. I do know they exist. We'll see. But for the time being, I'm not going to walk around in a turtleneck every day because they're sagging in this area. We can camouflage these areas, certainly. And I encourage you to take a look at my video series on body types, just to kind of get some tips as to how to maybe make some adjustments in what the pieces are that we're covering our bodies with. But unless I choose to wear a turtleneck every day or a high collar or something to hide this area, I'm going to accept that it is what it is, because the process is a very natural process. But this is not going to affect my confidence. I'm going to either accept it and move forward with it, or on those random days that I choose to maybe wear something that's going to hide it, It's not going to be about my confidence. It's about that particular garment that just happens to cover this part of my body. I love turtlenecks for the style. So if this is an area and you want to give some attention to it and maybe do something that brings a little less attention to it, scarves are a great way to do that. But what are you going to do in the summertime? Turtlenecks are a great way to do that. But what do you do in the summertime? So we have to find ways to be confident with the entire picture that we present, not just focusing on one area. I'm seeing change. I'm accepting change. It's there. But in terms of how I feel in my clothing, these things aren't affecting that. So I want you all to just really give some consideration to these next few points that I'm going to share that hopefully will help build your confidence if you're in need of that. And if you're not in need of that, I'm also talking a little bit about how to just enhance your style and what kinds of things can influence that. I would first say choose clothing for you versus what you think someone else might have to say about what you wear. And I think a lot of times there are comments about what people wear, a lot of times primarily because of the fit, not necessarily because of the style. But if you're selecting these pieces for someone else's opinion of them, that may affect your confidence level because you're not the one to pick it. So if you can do that, then definitely make it about what you choose, what you think is going to look good on you, and wear those things feeling good about how you present yourself in those pieces. When you go shopping, give yourself some room to maybe explore some things that you haven't considered before. If you like vintage styles or if you like styles from the 60s or 70s, find ways to incorporate those into your wardrobe. Handbags are a great way to do that. Shoes are a great way to do that. And jewelry is a great way to do that. And it feels like you have not abandoned something that you really want to enjoy in terms of fashion. You can add it to your wardrobe for those modern day pieces and just mix that style and create something wonderful that you're going to enjoy and feel confident in wearing, even though it's a style from years gone by. I've seen people in their 20s and 30s wearing styles from the 60s and 70s because that's what they enjoy wearing. They gravitate to that, and they found ways to incorporate it into their wardrobe and confidently, very confidently wear those things. And nobody's going to say anything other than, hey, I remember that shirt. I remember that style. I remember that jacket. And they are walking around in styles from the 60s and 70s with great ease. Vintage stores are full of really wonderful pieces. And a lot of times when I've gone into a vintage store, half of the people in the vintage stores are under 30. A lot of them are under 20. So there's something there for everyone, even when you go back to those throwback years and find things that you can incorporate into your wardrobe. Find what appeals to you personally. What styles do you connect with? Personally, I love the styles of the 50s. I love the structure of the garments. I love that there were lots of suits. I love they were tailored pieces. And those are things that I like now. I think those styles in the 50s and the women in the 50s wore clothing that just exuded confidence. They strutted their stuff in those garments. And you saw a lot of them in a lot of the old TV shows or those old movies. A lot of those things I look at and I tell my husband a lot. Oh, I would wear that. And I would wear those things now. I love suits. And when I see suits from the 50s, I'm all over that. And part of why I like vintage is because those pieces from those eras have a certain look about them that a lot of times, although things change through the years, but sometimes we just don't see those things in that way. So if I can find a way to incorporate a vintage piece into my wardrobe, I try to take advantage of that. But even though it's from 30 or 40 or 50 years ago, I can still confidently wear that because it's my style. So I can still wear something that comes from an era I was not even here, but can relate to for that reason. From the 80s, Everybody knows about Dynasty, and the reason that I watched that show was because of the fashion. Diahann Carroll and Joan Collins, those two ladies were, to me, what the epitome of high fashion was in the 80s. Now, there, of course, were all the luxury brands and designers. And honestly, I think for the masses, that has just become a thing in somewhat recent years that we're wearing certain designers. But for them, in those days, that was high fashion to me. So when I look at photos of Diahann Carroll from that show or from her time on the scene, I love what that presented. And I could comfortably wear that today. Joan Collins, dressed to the nines all the time. Although that was a character, it was what we know of that character and can relate to. So if that's your era and you want to incorporate that into your wardrobe and add that to your style, if that's going to boost your confidence because it's what you connect to, then enjoy those pieces that you can find to make that happen. The confidence comes from the comfort we have with the things that we wear. So if you're comfortable in a certain era, incorporate it, wear it, enjoy it, and be very confident in what you have on. That can go from jeans and a t-shirt and sneakers, I always say that, to the highest level of what you consider to be high fashion. If you watch The Young and the Restless, Kay Chancellor was dressed to the nines all the time, every day. Now, granted, she was a multi-millionaire, but that was the style she presented. A lot of millionaires walk around, you never know they're millionaires. She wore her money, and that was her style, and she was a very confident woman in that regard. So if that's your style, go with it. Go with it and enjoy it. Give some consideration to your body type. I encourage you to look at the video series with regard to body type. I've shown several videos where I talk about what that looks like. And I think a lot of times confidence comes from just knowing that we have on what suits our bodies based on our upper body or our lower body. What those things look like is going to definitely make us more comfortable. And when we're more comfortable, we're typically more confident. If it comes to color, if you don't like certain colors, don't wear those colors. Don't buy anything that has those colors in it if the colors don't work for you, not just because of your hair color or your eye color. Those kinds of things are to be considered. But if it's a color you just do not like, don't wear it, because wearing it is going to make you feel uncomfortable, and that is going to affect your confidence. Now, purple is a color I like on the color scale. I like it on other people, but it's not a color that I gravitate to when it comes to buying. I have a lavender suit, but that is the purple that's in my closet, that one lavender suit. And I don't really have a reason for not liking it. I think it's a very pretty color. I just don't gravitate to that when I'm looking for clothing. I also suggest that when you're shopping, give yourself time to really engage with the things that you're looking for. Try not to rush through the racks, because you can potentially miss something that might be something you would need in your wardrobe. And lunchtime is probably not the best time to go shopping. And I say that because you're on a schedule, and that may cause you to rush and not be focused on what you're looking for. It can also lead to frustration. And then you leave the store thinking they don't have anything. They might have had it, you just may not have given yourself enough time to see it, especially in a store that you haven't been in before. So just give yourself time with your shopping experience. It can be an experience in a great way, but it also can be an experience in a not so great way. And that can be definitely a confidence killer, because if you pick up something just to pick up something just because you need to buy something, when you get it home, it may or may not work. And you might be in a situation where you really want to wear something new, and you wear that thing, and it may be a confidence killer. So now you're not liking a certain thing because you bought it at a certain time. So while you're shopping, just give yourself time to really enjoy that part of the process. If you can, And if it does not frustrate you, try things on in the store. That way we're not taking things out that really are not going to be an option when we get home. But I also suggest that you make sure you know what the return policy is so you're not stuck with something that you either aren't going to wear or something you're forced to give away. Also consider if those pieces are standalone pieces. Are they statement pieces, or will you have an opportunity to wear them when you bring them home and mix them with something else? So being able to confidently buy something and know that you have some additional options other than that one piece that's in front of you, that's going to be a great way to work on your style, but also know that confidently you can wear these particular items that you're just acquiring. So these are some things I would suggest considering when you are processing why you don't feel confident when you put certain things on. If it brings your mood down, get it out of the closet. If you think you don't look good in it, don't wear it. It's simple. But we tend to, a lot of times, wear the things because they are what's available to us. And if they're not available, that's not even something we have to give any consideration to. So in trying to revamp what feels good, what makes us feel tall and confident in our walk, day to day, is those things that we have access to. So if you need to purge, make it a priority. Try it on. Does it fit? Do you like it? Do you want it? Is it in your style? If not, it needs to leave the closet. And that is a great way to just kind of keep tabs on how you're feeling day to day. Is your confidence level where it needs to be? Based on your clothing. Are you even confident in trying to create your style? There are tons of pictures to look at on Pinterest. You can look at magazines. You can look at TV shows or movies. What jumps out at you in terms of what people are wearing? What do you look at and say, wow? If that is a response that something gets from you, then that is the thing that you should probably have in your wardrobe and have in abundance, so that when you look at your wardrobe and you see all these wonderful things that make you feel wow, that is what is going to build your confidence. When you put those things on every day and you feel like you look good in them, or someone compliments you on what you have on and you smile, and then you tell them where you got it from because they need to know, it is a great confidence builder. So here's a challenge. Go through your closet, and if it's something that you immediately know you don't feel good in when you put it on, just take it out. Donate it to a friend or family member if you think they'll like it, or give it to a thrift store, whatever. Take the things out that don't make you feel good, because we want our confidence levels to be up here, not here. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope there's a tip that you can take from what I've said today that's going to help you enjoy your wardrobes more. And I hope you take the time to just make your shopping more of an experience than it's something that I need to rush and do, and enjoy all of those things that you take the time to buy and bring home. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, like, and share the video with family and friends. I always appreciate that. Also, this coming Wednesday, January 31st, I'm having a pop-up sale, and I'm having just handbags. I'm only planning to be on for 1.5 hours or less. When I run out, it's over. This Wednesday, January 31st, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube Live. If you like bags, if you need bags, or if you want to explore some different styles with bags, I'll have handbags. I hope you can join. And until Wednesday, have a fantastic start to your week, and I will see you very soon. Bye.